Eric says bad policy always brings bad things to brothers as part of the 100,000 fentanyl killing due to the border policy and doing nothing except politics. That is what Washington is doing. Eric Hayes, coming from a conservative, I find that statement amusing. Whatever happened to personal responsibility? I'm going to tell you a quick little story about Panama because this is very, very important and it shows you how dangerous your form of thinking is, right? Manuel Antonio Noriega was the dictator of Panama. You know, but he wasn't any worse a dictator than Donald Trump was, okay? What he did is he facilitated drugs. He was a capitalist, right? Manuel Antonio Noriega, yeah, he helped the drug trade in the United States. But the United States has a drug problem. It has a problem with drugs that they haven't solved. All those kids in Appalachia, that is where the bulk of the amphetamines and all these different drugs are circulated, right? Going to Maine, all the white areas of this country, it has exploded. It's now a health concern. It's not like crack, where we consider the people who use crack animals. Conservatives always talk about personal responsibility. And here, they want to somehow stop stuff at the border that's coming in. Well, you know why stuff is coming in at the border? Because in a supply and demand, in a capitalist society, when there's a demand, somehow the supply that meets it, right? That's why many of us are for legalizing drugs, because then you can monitor the drugs, tax the drugs, and use the tax funds to heal the people who use the drugs in such a manner that they get addicted. Because look, fentanyl and all these different drugs, I mean, I don't use them, I wouldn't use them, but they're a lot of people who like the feel-good nature of the fentanyl makes them feel good, and they use it appropriately. They get their high, they come down, and they're fine. And then there are those that they get addicted to it and they need more, and they kill themselves. I'm going to give you the correlate. There are a lot of different forms of drugs. There's marijuana, there are these strong fentanyls, etc., and a lot of the prescription drugs that we have, and then we also have alcohol, right? You have some people that in the privacy of their home, they go and they take their alcohol and they drink and they get drunk and they're in the privacy of their home. Nobody bothers them for trying to control their own emotions, trying to control their own being by medicating themselves with alcohol. Some have chosen fentanyl. You may say, well, fentanyl is illegal. Yes, it is. But there are a lot of illegal things that people take, right? They are, or even the drugs that are dispensed. And by the way, we know it's illegal because there's a lot in the pharmaceutical industry, but that's a different subject. But here, Eric wants us to blame a politician because all those folks in Appalachia, Maine, and the barrios and the ghettos are using these drugs. And as opposed to pushing personal responsibility, as opposed to pushing programs that say, let's deny the demand. Let's teach people not to have the demand. If you don't have a demand, a supply will not be met. It's that simple. You don't have the demand, you don't get the supply. Okay? So please stop the silly notion that somehow stopping the drugs at the Mexican border is going to stop my brothers and sisters in Appalachia from finding a way to get fentanyl now from China through the mail, what they're not going to get coming over the Mexican border. It's silly thinking. It is right-wing thinking. It is lacking thinking. And what we come to politics done right to do is to look at things the way they really are. So may I suggest that you reconsider the statement, because again, Panama got invaded. We lost over 100 American soldiers, over 10,000 Panamanians for silly thinking like that. George Bush Sr. invaded Panama. He destroyed a part of Colon, destroyed a part of Panama City, destroyed a part of David with bombs. You see what they're doing in Ukraine right now? That is what America did to us in Panama to get Manuel Antonio Noriega. Over 10,000 innocent Panamanians died on a silly errand because he is supporting drug transfer to America. What's the difference again? Putin is invading Ukraine, a bad thing, a wrong thing, an evil thing. It's no different the crap that America used, that George Bush used to invade Panama, and not only invade Panama, but killed 10,000 Panamanians, testing the stealth fighter on the 15 Pisos in Colon, testing some of their other equipment in the Cuartel Nacional in Chorrera. Okay? So please, we should be educated on what we have done ourselves, and we should be educated on personal responsibility. Your capitalists make these drugs and they want to sell them and they pay doctors to prescribe them. You want to know who's at fault? Your capitalists.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.